This is short Naseehah. Take advantage of 5 before 5. The Prophet ﷺ was the most concise and precise in speech, so what he spoke on matters that had great meanings and wisdom. He said to a young boy once, "I will tell you something that will benefit you." The Prophet ﷺ said, "Take advantage of 5 matters before 5 other matters. Your youth, before you become old. Your health, before you fall sick. Your richness, before you become poor. Your free time, before you become busy. And your life, before your death." So the first one was, take advantage of your youth before your old age. As we know, when we're at the youthful age, we are the most energetic, we exercise the most, we have the most fit body at that time, we have the energy, we have the drive. We should exercise that energy for the sake of Allah. We should strive to obtain knowledge. We should look to obtain halal subsistence. Give all our effort at that time in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you get older and your limbs and your joints and your bone and your whole body becomes weaker, it'll be much harder to stand up for salah. When you're at your young age, your body heals so quick, so let's use that energy to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to do more salah, to spend more time in salah, to do voluntary salah like the tahajjud salah. Let's do all of this before we get older. As we know, in Islam, the youth finishes at 40 years old. So I don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, I'm 20 years old, I'm old. I'm 30 years old, I'm old." You are not old. And we must remember, why do we want to do all these things at our youth before old age? Why do we want to worship Allah the most? Why do we want to obtain knowledge? Why do we want to obtain halal sustenance? It's all because we must remember that on the Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of judgment, one of the 7 people to be sheltered in that day of judgment is a youth who grew up with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we know when we're young, the shaitan comes to you the most, entices you, it tries to lead you astray. But if you remain steadfast in the straight path, in the path of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the path of oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the path of serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then inshallah wa ta'ala, on the day of judgment, you will have been sheltered. Second one, take advantage of your health before you fall sick. As we know, everyone falls sick. It's natural for a human being to fall sick. If we did not fall sick, we would not be humans at all. We also know that when we're weak, we are sick. Or when we're sick, we are weak. In terms of the body and biology. Funny how when we're ill, we always remember how weak we are. Then later on, we become well again. How did we suddenly go from being sick to well again? It was Allah. Allah is the one that has control over all matters. Allah is the one that gives us ease after hardship. Allah is the one that cures us after sickness. Just think about it for a minute. We might be healthy today, we might be able to walk today, we might be able to talk today, we might be able to run today, we might be able to stand up for salah today. But what about tomorrow? What if we could no longer stand up? What if we are no longer able to run? What if we're no longer able to do our salah? What if we're not able to run anymore? Run to the masjid. What if we're not able to run to the Halaqa, to lessons, Islamic lessons? So let's make use of the health we have right now. This reminds me of a story. Once a person came to Yunus ibn Ubayy, one of the scholars of the Salaf, and he complained of extreme poverty as he had not been blessed with much. Yunus ibn Ubayy asked him, "Would you be willing to give away your sight for a certain amount of money?" The man said, "No, of course not." Then he asked him, "Would you be willing to give your hands away?" He said, "No, of course not." He asked further, "Your feet?" He said, "Of course not." When he finished, he said, "I see that you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of millions of blessings, yet you are complaining of poverty." So my dear Muslims, let's make use of the good health, of the blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the mouth to speak, the tongue to speak. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the eye to read. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the hearing to listen to the Quran, to listen to the Adhan, to listen to lectures. Allah SWT has given us a hand, feet, everything. Let's be thankful. And how do we be thankful? It's by worshipping Allah. It's not thankful by saying, oh, thank you Allah, but by our action. Third one, take advantage of your richness before poverty. We may be rich one day, tomorrow everything will be gone, we might be poor. Whilst we got that money, we should spend it or use it wisely, because we will be held accountable for it. That's why when the first generation of the Muslim, in terms of the Sahaba, they were very scared of wealth because they knew that they will be held accountable for it. How did they use it? What did they do with it? Did they use it for the benefit of the Iman? Did they use it for the benefit of the Ummah? Did they use it to benefit the orphan, the poor? Or did they just splash it? They were scared to be held accountable for it. So we must invest wisely for the dunya and the akhirah. We must invest for the akhirah. What did we use with that money for? Did we use it to feed the orphan? Did we use it to create some sort of sadaqah jariyah, like a masjid, or like some sort of orphanage? Did we? Where our good deeds will continue after we leave? Did we invest it, for example, to build a farm where there's trees, and when people eat from that tree, or mankind or even jinn eat from it, will get rewarded after we pass away? Think of it this way: wealth is nothing but a test. It will be either for you or against you in the day of judgment. Did we give money to charity when people in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Gaza, in Burma, in Palestine, did we help them all? Look at all the calamities that are happening in the world. Did we help those people with the money that we have attained? And also, when we give charity, did we give the charity with sincere intention to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or did we give that money to boast to friends, to say, listen, you give £20 or $20, I give £100 or $100. Ask yourself, the last time you got paid your salary or you attained some money, did you think I should give some of this to charity, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's case? So we must remember to always spend wisely and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not mean that we don't spend at all, but we must be very, very careful how we spend it, because we will be held accountable for our wealth. Next one, take advantage of your free time before you become busy. Every single one of us must use our free time before we become busy. How many of us waste our time away idling, doing nothing, just lazing around? But rather, should we not be utilizing that time to attain more knowledge, to do more ibadah, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to read the Quran, or if we don't know how to read the Quran, to learn to read the Quran, or at least learn the transliteration, the meaning of the Quran from Arabic to English, or whatever language that you understand. Funny how when people have free time, they always say they're bored. We should never be bored. We should utilize our time to benefit ourselves and others. We should learn some new skills as well. Maybe go to the gym. If you're a male, go to male-only gym. Improve your health. What free time we have today, we may not have tomorrow. We might have hours and hours free today, for which we can use for worship, for ibadah, for attaining knowledge. But what if tomorrow you become preoccupied? You have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, where you have less free time to worship Allah. So when we have free time, there is no excuse not to use it wisely. Remember, on the day of judgment, we'll be asked, what did we do with our free time? What are we going to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Oh, I wasted it all doing nothing. I wasted it all backbiting about others. I wasted it all just idling. So we must be very careful how we utilize our free time before that free time goes and we become busy. Next one, and number 5, take advantage of your life before your death. This sort of summarizes it all. Whilst we have life, we have the opportunity to take advantage of our youth and old age. We have the advantage to take advantage of our health before we become sick. We have the opportunity to take advantage of our richness before poverty. We also have our opportunity to take advantage of free time before we become busy. We have all these opportunities before death comes. We know that every soul shall taste death. Every one of us will eventually pass away. How many years are we going to live in this dunya? 100 years? 150? I don't think any of us ever lived 150. Even if we live 200, say 300 years, then what? Are we going to waste all our opportunity to worship Allah to get attained higher rank in Jannah? Jannah, a place where we're going to spend for eternity? Or we're going to waste this 100 years, 150 years, 200 years, 300 years and compromise our hereafter? Let's not be foolish. What would you rather invest in? In this dunya, where you're only going to live about 100 years, or infinity in the hereafter? Let's not be foolish and invest in the hereafter. We do not want to be the ones who say, "Oh my Lord, allow me to go back so that I may do good in the time that I had left, so that you may forgive me and you may have mercy on me in the day of judgment, that of which is today." Or we don't want to be those that cry out, "Our Lord, our Rabb, we have seen and we have heard. Let us go back to do good deeds. We are now believers." True believers have certain characteristics: salah, zakah, fasting, hajj, good character, no backbiting, kind to parents, kind to your neighbor. Let's be a true believer. Let's be the one on the day of judgment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants Jannah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us all and to take advantage of these 5 before 5, as mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen.